Do you spend your vacations tracking elusive cryptids, road tripping to iconic UFO crash sites, or wandering haunted halls with your EMF reader in hand? Did you know you can use astrocartography, the astrology of place, to find the parts of the world where you're more likely to witness something mind-altering? Because you can devour every cryptozoology book and watch every alien documentary, but if the energy of the land isn't attuned to your frequencies, the thrills you're chasing might never show up. If you're hoping for these types of paranormal experiences, your Uranus lines are the first locations you should explore. Because wherever Uranus touches, the ordinary world is disrupted. This video is going to be all about why Uranus lines are so bizarre, and also how each Uranus line is bizarre in a different way. At the end of the video, I will give you some bonus hints about what to do if you're craving weird, but you can't get to your Uranus lines. Believe me, I know Uranus astrocartography lines, they're not only about paranormal encounters. But since it's spooky season, I just thought it would be fun to focus on how they might help you create the strangest, most electric trip of your dreams. And hopefully this is a video you'll return to whenever you want to channel your mad explorer side. I'm Dahlia Jane. I am a professional astrologer specializing in astrocartography, and I help creatives, sensitives, and spiritual misfits unlock the hidden power in their charts. If you're already curious about the places on the globe where the strange tends to break through for you, I wanted to let you know I offer one-on-one Electrify Your World map sessions. We can dig into your personal astrocartography with a focus on paranormal hotspots and anomalous encounters. Just note on your intake form that you are chasing the weird, and we'll map the lines and portals most likely to light up for you with far more depth than I can share in this video. Booking link is in the description below. But if you're not quite ready to go full field researcher with me yet, one-on-one, don't worry. This video will give you a strong foundation, and I'll also link a site in the description where you can pull your own astrocartography map for free if you want to follow along. Let's take a look at what you can expect to encounter on your Uranus astrocartography lines. In mythology, Uranus is the primordial god of the sky. He's a cosmic force of sudden creation, disruption, and revelation. Uranus brings flashes of insight, rapid changes, and strange events that defy logic. So in astrology, Uranus rules awakening, rebellion, innovation, as well as all things bizarre. He governs the circuitry of our nervous system, as well as electricity and technology. And we also associate Uranus with that rebel in each of us that craves freedom and authentic connection. Uranus lines. The paranormal doesn't creep in slowly. It arrives suddenly, often through unexpected channels. So think classic poltergeist activity, like electronic glitches, toasters flying through the air, lights that flicker for no reason, phantom voices caught on recorders, or a figure appearing out of static on the television screen. It's gone before you can blink. Uranus lines are places where reality short circuits. Simply put, your perception is rewired on Uranus lines. That same energy that sparks genius ideas and quantum leaps forward can also open doors to the strange, the alien, and the anomalous. You might not go looking for the paranormal on a Uranus line, but there's a good chance it will come looking for you. Uranus lines mark places where reality doesn't behave the way you expect. The veil doesn't just thin here. It flickers, it glitches, or it vanishes entirely for a moment before snapping back into place. These locations are highly charged for spontaneous psychic downloads, sudden apparitions, and technological mediumship. This is the line. Bring your spirit boxes, your radios, and your digital audio recorders and leave them running so the ghosts can experiment freely. You're more likely to experience other anomalies here as well. Time loops, deja vu, prophetic dreams, or mysterious lights skimming the night sky. Many people report strange phenomena while interacting with tech on Uranus lines. Phones that glitch, digital clocks freezing at a specific time, recordings that capture things no one heard in the moment, and fully charged ghost hunting equipment that shuts itself off. Uranus doesn't whisper. Like other planetary energies, it shocks, surprises, and jolts you awake. So if you're the kind of person who wants a ghost to say hello through your Bluetooth speaker at 3 a.m., or dreams of catching a cryptid on your doorbell camera, this might just be your line. These aren't just tech malfunctions, they're fractures in reality, and often they mirror the way Uranus-associated deaths unfold. The deaths tied to Uranus are sudden, shocking, and strange. Electrocution, lightning strikes, explosions, aviation disasters, mysterious disappearances, and yes, even alien abductions. These events feel too fast, too bizarre, too surreal to process. Are the kinds of exits that sever a soul from the timeline without warning. Uranus doesn't just deal in ghosts. It also governs the unclassified, the outliers, the misfits, the beings that defy categorization and explanation and fail to fit the traditional spiritual traditions. The planet Uranus is itself an outlier. Along with Venus, it actually rotates in the opposite direction of all the other planets. It's also the only planet tipped on its side. Now, scientists have theories about why Uranus is so different, but they don't know for sure. On Uranus lines, people report experiences that go beyond haunting, into the realm of alien contact, non-human entities, interdimensional bleed-throughs. Cryptid sightings, think Bigfoot in the fog, or flashing lights in the woods, creatures spotted that defy our understanding of anatomy and vanish without a trace. Paranormal researchers sometimes refer to this as high strangeness. These are encounters that feel real, but don't fit the expected scripts. On Uranus lines, you're not just open to the spirit world, you're positioned at a crossroads in the multiverse, where timelines tangle, beings pass through, and the rules of reality start to feel blurry. If you're looking for a classic Gothic ghost story, Uranus may not deliver. Check out my video on spooky travel to a Neptune line if that's what you want. But if you're ready for something weird, electric, and completely unexplainable, Uranus is your invitation to the edge of what's possible. But you need to hear this part, because when it comes to Uranus, what makes it thrilling also makes it dangerous. Encounters on Uranus lines don't gently unfold. They hit like a bolt from the blue. You might wake up feeling like your consciousness has been rewired overnight, and not necessarily in a good way. The type of energy that invites in sudden apparitions, glitches in time, and psychic flashes is brilliant, but it's also unstable. Some people report feeling electrically fried after time spent on their Uranus lines, and it's not uncommon to return from a trip to a Uranus line with worsening symptoms of an overstimulated nervous system, insomnia, anxiety, and vertigo. Just like with real electricity, too much contact too quickly can short-circuit your inner wiring. There are plenty of stories about people who go looking for aliens, cryptids, or anomalies, and they return altered. They feel like they're trapped in a timeline that is non-linear or distorted. Their memory stutters. They become incoherent, trying to talk about what they experienced, maybe because our language doesn't have the right words. The mismatch between an experience and a sensible explanation for it's the kind of glitch Uranus lines can trigger. Let's consider the many reports of missing time phenomena. There are official documents with similar themes where people swear they witness lights in the sky. They drive towards the lights, then they black out for minutes or hours. Later, they might fill in some of the gaps with inconclusive dashcam footage or somebody claiming to have spoken to them on the phone during the period of time they can't account for. But their memory of that night is never made whole. Did they see something so out of this world that their brain had no choice but to force them to forget it? So remember, Uranus can flip your whole concept of reality on its head. You may not be able to flip it back. I'm not saying don't go. I'm saying don't expect to stay unchanged. Uranus is about awakening to the truth about the cosmos, and awakenings are not always comfortable. That's enough of that. We're going to move on. Everyone has 4 different Uranus lines on their astrocartography map, and each of these lines will be experienced in a unique way. So let's talk about what kind of Uranus-themed encounters you might experience on the 4 different Uranus astrocartography lines. On a Uranus Ascendant line, you don't need to seek out the weird. It'll find you. You don't just attract the strange here. You are the strange. Your nervous system gets dialed up. Your intuition sharpens like a blade, and your presence becomes a kind of beacon for high strangeness. People often report sudden psychic flashes, glitches in perception, or bizarre coincidences that seem to revolve around them on Uranus Ascendant lines. Lights may flicker when you enter the room. Animals start acting weirdly around you. Strangers stare, or they avoid you entirely. Paranormal encounters on this line feel like shocks to the system. Sudden chills, electrical buzzing, adrenaline spikes without reason. You might experience time distortion, erratic sleep patterns, or a sense that you're plugged into something you can't explain. If you're hoping to visit a haunted house with a poltergeist flavor, you should consider a Uranus IC line instead. Uranus on the IC often brings paranormal activity inside the home, especially sudden or erratic phenomena. Think objects falling without cause, knocks and bangs, doors slamming, or your favorite playlist switching to a song you've never heard from an era before you were even born. If you've always hoped to be abducted from your bed and pulled onto the mothership, sleeping on a Uranus IC line could do the trick. But don't be surprised if you can't settle here. People often report insomnia, psychic overstimulation, and a sense of restlessness that won't let them fully root. While the Uranus IC line electrifies your foundation, a Uranus Descendant line warps your experience of other people. So the Descendant governs the other. That's partners, strangers, reflections. And when Uranus touches it, the other, it gets very other. So on this line, the people who cross your path may not be who or what they seem. They can act as mirrors for strange forces, messengers from somewhere else, or portals in human form. You may meet someone who appears out of nowhere, knows things they shouldn't, or disappears without ever saying goodbye. And this is classic territory for phantom hitchhikers, eerie passengers, and mysterious companions who show up at just the right, or sometimes the wrong moment. And it's also a hotspot for shared anomalies. So two people experience the same bizarre event, but they remember it differently. Or one remembers every second very clearly, while the other swears it never happened at all. Connections on this line tend to be electric and brief. They can be deeply disorienting sometimes. They may leave you wondering whether that person was ever really there, or if they were just a flicker from a parallel timeline passing through. If you'd rather be the strange one in the room, you should consider visiting a Uranus midheaven line. On this line, you could be seen as a psychic, rebel, a paranormal investigator, or just that person who seems to know things they shouldn't. This line is also where unexpected events happen in public or in broad daylight. This would be UFO sightings with dozens of witnesses in the middle of the afternoon. Uranus MC lines, they're also prime territory for spirit tech, paranormal documentation, and accidental virality. Imagine you record a short video and catch a shadow figure behind you, or you lead a group tour and every EMF reader spikes at the same time. Talk about a strange dream online, and suddenly hundreds of people say they had the exact same dream. On a Uranus MC line, expect to be the antenna. What passes through you may be wild, brilliant, terrifying, but one thing's for sure, people will notice. So we've covered the types of paranormal experiences you might encounter on different Uranus lines. This should help you start planning your travels, but keep in mind, the house and sign where Uranus lives in your birth chart will also shape how being on these lines impacts you. I wish I could get into that with you more, but unfortunately, that's a whole side quest through the multiverse for another time. Whichever Uranus line you find yourself on, the best advice is simple. Expect the unexpected and stay grounded. Encounters here strike like lightning, fast, loud, and wired. It can create a power surge that fries your circuits if you're not careful, so give yourself space to process. Don't try to chase or control the phenomena, it just feeds the chaos. Instead, be observant, be curious, and stay steady. Yes, I recommend you keep a log, preferably analog, because you never know when tech is going to glitch on a Uranus line. But more importantly, Track your body. How's your heart rate? Can you take some deep breaths? Schedule breaks from technical equipment and screens, and touch the ground. Sleep whenever you can. These lines run hot, and you're the antenna. Now, if this video gets you amped up about visiting a Uranus line, but you check your astrocartography map and realize most of your Uranus lines are in places you can't easily reach, don't worry. There are other ways to access Uranus energy using some more advanced astrocartography techniques. The first thing I'd look into are Uranus parens. These are latitude crossings that blend Uranus energy with other planetary energy to create a powerful gateway. Unfortunately, they usually aren't visible on the free online astrocartography maps, but they are worth learning about. Another thing you can do is figure out which places in the world relocate Uranus into houses in your chart that help tune your antenna. It will be the first house, the third, or the 12th. Finally, you can also use Uranus cyclocartography to find windows of time in the future when Uranus will activate the places you want to visit. Explaining all of that in detail would make this video ridiculously long, so I won't dive into it here. But if you're hitting a dead end in your Uranus exploration and want to go deeper, just want to remind you I offer personalized Electrify Your World map sessions. Let me know ahead of time if you're into paranormal travel or really any other unusual themes you want to explore. I'm up for it. I'll guide you through it. The booking link is in the description below. And if this video sparked something in you, I would love it if you would leave me a comment. Tell me about your suspected cryptid sightings, your UFO stories, or the times when all the electronics in your house started acting like they had a mind of their own. I love that stuff. Until next time, stay curious, be well, and be witchcrafting.